Okay, so now we have a release date for Resident Evil Reverse at last. We can finally talk about what people want to see and how they want to see it improved. I know there's a lot of mixed opinion about this game at the moment. Some people are not interested at all. Some people think it's just going to be fun to play occasionally, and there's some people out there that are really looking forward to it. People out there that do say they bought Village just for this, which I wouldn't personally say I would do that, but either way, it just proves there's people looking forward to it. And we're going to talk about how they could improve the game based on what we've seen and what we've played in beta, and then hopefully when October comes around, when the game releases, if it releases, we can kind of see some changes. So without any further ado, let's go into what people want to see most from Resident Evil Reverse. So first and foremost, I think the big thing people want to see more than anything in Reverse is a bigger cast of characters. Right now, there is 6 characters and I believe 3 like notorious bioweapons. I think we've got Claire, Jill, Leon, Chris, Ada and Hunk as the characters, and then you've got Jack, Nemesis and Mr. X as the bigger bioweapon characters. There is so many more characters you can add. I've done videos in the past on this game. This was way back when it was originally going to release, where we talked about what characters could be introduced. So you've got obviously Carlos, you've got Luis, you've got Ashley, you've got Sherry, you've got all these different characters from all different games, and they seem to have only picked characters from 2, 3 and 7 at the moment, and it's odd that there's no one from 8 even though the game released alongside Village. So maybe we'll see an Ethan, maybe we'll see a Mia or a Rose with a Dimitrescu bioweapon or a Heisenberg bioweapon. That would be really cool, but the opportunities to add characters and bioweapons to the game are endless. There's so many characters you can choose from, and I think that's something that people want to see more of. Each character is unique, so having each character be unique in the future, again, a lot more potential to do that. Next up, we've got modes. Now, at the moment, the beta, from what I remember playing of it, you've got the one map, which was the RPD, and then the free-for-all mode. Now, essentially, it's like a timer, and first place wins, second place wins, third place wins. It's a free-for-all, and that was the only mode in the beta. That being said, there's obviously going to be more maps in the full game. There's probably going to be another mode or 2 in the full game anyway. What they are, we don't know. But I think a lot of people want to see more team-based games and maybe some PvE stuff as well. For example, you've got like a team-based game mode where it's the survivors versus the bioweapons, where it's a team of the bioweapons, a team of the survivors, and it's just a team deathmatch. There's also a team deathmatch based around factions in the game. So for example, you've got like the hero characters. So for example, Chris, and then you've got the villain characters. So Hunk, maybe there's a team, enough to make a team on either side. So you've got like a team of like Hunk, Wesker, and I don't know, Excella. We'll go for Excella. That's a weird one to pick. And then you've got like Jill, Chris and Leon on the hero side, and it's first to a certain amount wins. And then PvE missions, you know, like so, go through the map as a team, bunch of zombies in there, bunch of bioweapons in there, find something and get out with it. There's a lot more options for modes in this game than you think. It can be kind of a sandbox game if you think about it. Like you can do anything with this game. You know, it doesn't have to be tied down to PvP. This one's a big one from people who played it in beta, but balance. From what I can remember playing, and from what I remember seeing people talk about and seeing people play with, there's certain characters that were more stand out than the rest, which is no shock to a game like this. Using any hero shooter, where each character has unique abilities and stuff, there's always one or two that's just way more dominant than the rest, and it's constantly a shifting meta in those games. If they commit to a balancing in this game and they constantly change things and buff people, it could be quite good to see a meta shift every now and again. Like, I don't know how popular the game's going to be at launch, but if it sticks and people really enjoy it and they support the game, you could see so many variations of who's good and who isn't over time. It could be really cool to see. As well as any new characters they add, again with hero shooters, whenever a new character gets added to a game like Overwatch or something like Overwatch, they're either really, really good when they come out or really, really bad. And that could be the same with this game as well. Like, so definitely have a good sense of balancing and nerfing and buffing things as and when. Keep that consistent because it keeps people playing the game. Speaking of people playing the game, do not make this one pay to win. Resident Evil Resistance did suffer this issue, kind of. Basically, there were these boxes you could buy based on Mastermind or Survivor and Resistance, and you could pay for the currency to buy them, and in them you could get like better cards. Basically meaning you can get really good cards for your characters really early on and be really strong. Kind of pay to win. You can still earn them through play, but it's still a lot faster just to buy it, and I don't know if anyone ever did that, but it's still there as an option. Don't do that with this game. If you really want to monetize this game, there's a really easy way to do it that people will just eat up. You've got all these iconic characters in the game, make skins for them. Give them alternate outfits from their different games, make new ones for them. Like, they did that in Resident Evil Resistance, and it was really good. Like, you could get those skins, those cosmetic boxes, and they all looked really good. You know, it would change the skin of your character, it would change the skin of your weapons, and it would work really well. Do that with this game as well, because people like cosmetic stuff, especially in a game like this, where you can look cool, or you can have a skin that you really liked from one of the main games on like Jill or Chris or something like that. People want to see that, and I would definitely throw down some money if they were putting skins in the game for certain characters. I think crossplay is probably a big one as well. It will help the player base a lot. One thing that I always found weird with Resistance is it wasn't crossplay. You're already restricting the player base because you actually have to own Resident Evil 3 anyway. That game did sell really well, so it's likely the game had a good amount of players. But especially nowadays with Resistance, people still play it. Like, it's still fairly active on PlayStation, at least when I play it. But you're only playing with PlayStation people. Like, you're restricted to PlayStation. So those PC players, those Xbox players, which there still is a few of, may not find matches as well, or it may not be as busy day on PlayStation, but it's active on Xbox, and it helps a lot just to do that. I know that apparently the PC version did suffer from cheaters, so maybe that's something to look into as well. Like, maybe have some anti-cheat or something like that. I know this isn't a game they're going to splash loads of money into. I think they've probably got other priorities with Resident Evil 4 and stuff at the moment, but if they support the game and treat it well enough, people are going to stick around and play it, because it is, on the surface of it, it is a fun game. Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, a steady flow of content released to the game will be good, you know? I'm talking like, nothing extreme, maybe like a new map, like every month or so, or a couple characters alongside a new map, or something like that. Maybe like, I hate to say it out loud, but maybe they add like a battle pass to it, where you can earn loads of cosmetics through play, and they last like 3 months each, like normal battle passes do. As much as I think battle passes are oversaturated in games nowadays, they do work, they are quite good, and they're usually just completely cosmetic, so it's completely optional. So they're a better system than supply boxes and stuff like that, because it removes the RNG. You pay for it, you play the game, you get what you paid for. So definitely a good system, but consistent content is always good. A lot of people like a good roadmap on stuff like this, so maybe you can post a roadmap when the game launches, like here's what's coming this month, here's what's coming this month, just so people know what to expect, so they can jump on the game and play it when the new stuff is out, if they get bored of it. Again, a game like this will genuinely fall flat on its face if the team that made it doesn't support it well enough, if they don't nerf things, keep things balanced, if they don't add consistent content to the game on a regular basis, it's gonna die. So if they're really committed to having a player base on this game, you know, cater to the player base, give people what they want to play it for, you know, give people new maps and content, new modes, give people new cosmetics to go for, stuff like that. Like, it keeps players there, and I really do think if the game's supported well enough, it could be fun. It could be really fun. Like, it was already fun. Where it stands at the moment from beta, it's not something I'll play constantly. It's something I'll probably play like an hour or two every so often if I'm bored. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's good enough to kill some time every now and again. Obviously at launch, if it does launch around the same time as the DLC, I'll play a bunch of it, get loads of videos out, stream it, play it with you guys and stuff like that. But outside of the launch period, it's not something I'll sit and play constantly. So if they add to it, they balance it, that will help with that. But that's pretty much going to do it with this game. Again, there's not a lot of new information to go at with this. I'm sure closer to release they'll probably talk about it. Maybe they'll do another beta closer to release. That would be good to get people more interested in it again. Because I remember the betas before, not only were they in the middle of the night really for where I am, but they had server issues as well. So if they can get out a beta that works to people on a decent time frame, maybe they'll do that. If not, if they at least kind of show more of it before launch, just to see if they've changed it at all, that'll be interesting to see. But other than that, it is slated to release on the same day as the DLC, so that's the 28th of October. If it does launch that day, it'll be a busy day for the channel anyway. I'll be doing all the DLC, I'll be playing through the game again on third person, and then maybe that weekend of that DLC launch I'll jump onto Reverse, do some streams, get some footage, do some videos, and we can all play together. That'd be really cool. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game. Are you still interested? Are you hoping they've changed it a little bit? Are you wanting to see something specific added to it? Let me know. Thank you all for coming by and watching. Remember to subscribe for more Resident Evil content, and I'll see you all in the next video.